Hello, Fáilte. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lora O'Brien and I'm an Irish 3. And I thought I'd bring you with me on a little dive into the rabbit hole, the research rabbit hole that I've been doing today, because I went to visit an Ogham stone for my Patreon site visit this month. And details for all this is below. We visit a sacred site every month for Patreon and bring the patrons along, basically. So we went to visit an Ogham stone in County Kilkenny, and it kind of like led me on a rabbit hole of, because I need to research a story about it. But there was a particular part of it that kind of caught my attention, which was that one of the ancient antiquarians who was researching it first, he had to get like 20 men to turn over the stone so that he could read the inscription on it, because it had fallen at some point. It used to be upright and it had fallen or been taken down at some point and was lying like the inscription face down. So I'm going to share my screen here because I wanted to kind of share some of the folklore that I have been coming across, because it is just really interesting. So I've been, on JSTOR and Ogham Stone seen in County Kilkenny. I'm looking for the original like description of the experience that the antiquarian had for, story reasons, because I have an idea for a story. And there's a lot. So I've been on JSTOR here, Monuments of County Kilkenny, which is Ferguson's. That's the one that I downloaded there. And then I went into duchas.ie, which you can see here on the screen. So I went into Duchas and searched for Ogham. And there's a huge amount, there's like 11 pages of transcribed references to Ogham. There's 22 photographs, which you can see here, which are all really, really cool. But the transcriptions that I've been going through them, and what I wanted to try and find was some of the, like, I wanted to kind of mix up the respect that people have for the supernatural elements, the fairies or the bad luck or the good luck from interfering with monuments, with accounts of Ogham. So that's what I've been kind of cross-referencing for. So I found a couple of interesting ones which I thought I might just give a little share of. So the first one here is from Brittas in County Wicklow, and it says, another story relates that when the Wicklow Pier was being built, men were travelling through the country gathering up big stones to help to build it. And a man named Dickinson, now residing in Rathnew, brought the Ogham stone in County Wicklow, and wondering at the marks that were on it, showed it to a priest who told him to take it back to its former place. It is also believed that a priest explained the meaning of the marks thus: here lieth a princess, she was possessed of the devil. Now, that transcription is, or that translation is a little bit suspect to my mind, but there you go. That is the story that Kathleen Lott had recorded from British National School. A little bit more along the lines of what I was looking for here is the fairy cat of Clogher, which is from Clooncunny in County Sligo. So there's a big rock in Clogher, and people say there are a lot of treasures hidden under it. There are letters written on it in Ogham. Once a man took a spade or tried to lift the rock, but a big, vicious-looking black cat appeared on the top of the rock and started to spit at him, and the man ran away. The cat always guards the rock. Yeah. So that is the end of that story. That one reminded me that there is another kind of otherworldly cat and Ogham loose connection in Uavnagatch, the Cave of the Cats in County Roscommon. And I do have other videos. I have a cave playlist, I believe, on my YouTube channel as well, which I'll maybe link at the end. But no, actually, I'll link the Ogham playlist, I think, at the end of this, so you can have a look through the different Ogham videos and Ogham stones that I go and visit as part of the Patreon site visits, and just in general when I'm passing by. I try and kind of capture it and share it for you here on the YouTube channel. So do go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, because there's lots more of this kind of digging into mysteries that I'm always getting involved in. So there's one marked religious story, modern, and it's from Ardatan in County Carlow. And it says, some years ago, an Ogham stone was broken by a farmer who built a gap with the fragments. Some people were inclined to think that the Ogham stone marked the grave of Iserninus, the patron saint of Agad. I don't know where that is. Some 2 years later, the farmer's daughter, who was about 4 years of age, was toddling on the banks of the Slaney near Agad Mill and fell into the mill race and was drowned. The man also had some bad luck with cattle, and people say it is the hand of God exacting retribution for the breaking of the monument. That one is getting closer now to what I want to kind of pull into the story. So I kind of share my process here with the stories, how I write the Patreon stories. And if you're interested, the Patreon rewards go from, I mean, you can sign up for $1 if you want, just to support me, but the rewards level start at $3, and for that you get a fresh story every single month. And this is the kind of process that goes into the story. I really dig into the manuscripts, the old manuscripts, the academic articles that I can find, and kind of following these threads of inspiration. That's why I call them my research rabbit holes, because you never know what you're going to come across, like this. So I have one more for you. It is Tuberculous, and it's the attempted pollution of the well. And there's actually loads here on this particular well. It's near Stradbally in County Waterford. And I have it earmarked because I would really like to go and see this well. There's quite a few different elements to various bits and pieces within this kind of entry on this particular well. So I definitely want to go and see it. So I might do that for my site visit, maybe in November or December. But this particular part of it was another well-known fact regarding this holy well is that any attempted pollution or desecration was surely punished by some affliction of the person or on the person of the culprit. Once a large stone with Ogham characters on its edges was removed from the well and placed on a fence. The culprit got a very troublesome sore hand and had the stone returned to the well. And then it goes on, there's like 3 or 4 different entries for the proof that this person is using, that that the well, basically you shouldn't interfere with the well. So I hope that was interesting. I'm going to put links to all these below so you can actually go in and have a look at them yourself and play around in Dukas, because it's a really fascinating site anyway. And yeah, so I just kind of wanted to share that with you. And if you like this content, please do like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and do all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Slán go fóill.